Already, peace be unto you, whoever out there that may view this video. But I had to get something off my chest, man. It's been something that's been plaguing for a long time now. You know what I mean? And especially working in this environment, behind enemy lines each and every day, these things get bottled up. So I feel like it's the best thing to do, get it off my chest, even if nobody hears it. Okay? Now, I'm hearing about a seemingly international movement, okay, of returning back home. Those of us in the diaspora, those of us who were taken away from our home country and brought to this slave country and then brainwashed to think that this was our only reality. Okay, I wanted to bring this up because going over the Bible, particularly Genesis, and there are scriptures that will support what I'm about to say in Revelations. There are scriptures in Psalms and Matthew. They're all over. You just have to read in between. But particularly in Genesis chapter 15, verse 13 through 14, where it speaks of our demise, our people, the Lord's people. Okay, what we call Yahweh. Okay, those who call yourself Jacob, Yaakov, whatever you want to call yourself. But it speaks of the Lord's people, the followers of the Lord, the sheep of his pasture. It speaks of a time, okay, of disparity, a time of enslavement, a time where all of the wicked things that we now try to act as if didn't happen were going to happen and were meant to happen. Okay, and I only brought that up because there's so much controversy. There's so much controversy. Anytime you want to say, well, okay, you know, as far as slavery goes, as far as the atrocities that were taken against human people, trying to not only distort the image worldwide of our people, but to not only do that, but to also break the entire image of being human. Okay, that inhumane treatment, that inhumane jargon that was placed to us, even the fact of naming us as though we were animals, all of those things had a psychological effect on us to this very day. And now all I hear is people want to say, especially Caucasian Europeans, that slavery didn't matter, that we should just forget and let go. I even hear that from more and more of these so-called Negroes, these African, so-called Africans, these so-called African Americans saying it now, that slavery shouldn't matter, that it didn't exist. Are you crazy? Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you out of your mind? When you can not only see the psychological effects, but you can see the physical dungeons that we were kept in, and you still take on the lamentations of the enemy and say that it was something that was distorted or something that was made believe. Listen to me. I'm not even going to get into all of that. Okay, but the fact is, I am making a point to be a part of the going back, returning back home movement, to get out of the diaspora. There's a reason why we have so many black men walking around here feeling frustrated at all times. There's a reason why there's such a huge disconnect, especially between black women and black children and black men in this country. There's a reason. Now, you're not going to go to any other continent where you're going to have nothing but peace. There will always be despair in some form or fashion. The colonialism that came to this land and claimed it as their own after a slaughter destroying the original inhabitants of that land, those same colonialists went to other parts of this world and did the same damn thing, or at least attempted, everywhere that they go. That's what the devil does. That's what the devil does, and it kills me. It kills me to this very day. I have family members, particularly my grandmother, who raised me up in Christianity and taught me that Christianity was the right way to her natural beliefs. My grandmother isn't even from this country, so that lets you know, once again, colonialism did not just occur here. No matter where you go, you're going to see the effects and the remnants of colonialism, colonialization. The effects in this country happen to be some of the most powerful and outright long-lasting effects, which they were meant to be. Make no mistake about it. Okay? But that same woman, my grandmother who raised me to believe Christianity was right, is so forthright in her beliefs that she would not even consider if I was to tell her that Christianity is false and that it was a tool, a mechanism to continue to initially enslave people and to continue to enslave people and their minds. I repeat, Christianity was nothing but a mechanism and a tool put forth by European, put forth by the English Protestant, put forth by the Anglo-Saxon to manipulate people. Okay? That tool was one of the main tools they used to justify slavery to this day. Yet you still have people who rally behind Christianity as if there is no other way. Those are the same blind fools that will stick to this country no matter what. Again, I don't give a damn who views this video. I don't care anymore. But I am going to say this. I had to get this off my chest. It's time to get the hell out of Babylon. It's time for the diaspora. It is time for those of us within the diaspora right now to return, to leave. There are other lands out here with other people out here and other nations out here. There are other possibilities. It is limitless. If we were made in his image, if I am made in God's image, then who is this Caucasian European to limit the bounds of my abilities? Who is this Caucasian to put limitations on my abilities? We've been enslaved for so long that you can't even think for ourselves. The sky's the limit is more than just a phrase. The sky's the limit is the truth. We were made in his image. The Europeans have long realized this. Why do you think there's so much effort in keeping you from retaining your roots? I said this again. I said this previously in a video that I posted regarding the Willie Lynch letter. The phenomena that was used to mentally destroy our minds as a people, to mentally take away our dignity, to physically take away our dignity. Okay? That same phenomena, those same phenomenas, why do you think they're reenacted on our people? Because the mind has a tendency to revert that back to its natural way of thinking. After so long, the mind has a tendency to revert. It wants to fix itself. Why do you think that they prepare for revolutions in a timely manner? Because they know that every so often, it's only a matter of time before our minds are going to start to awaken from the cloak of enslavement that has been placed upon them and start to realize our potential and realize that this isn't the only reality. In fact, this is one of the most false realities that you could ever live in your life. So keep thinking and keep living the American dream and keep raising your children up to live this crazy ass American dream. You all can have it. I'm gone. I'm gone. I can't do this anymore. Mental instability. Our own black president, so-called black president, former, even attested. The only comment he ever made about the monstrosities and the racial injustice going on by police officers within our neighborhoods, the only justification even the so-called black president could say is that it's due to mental instability within the black communities. In other words, the black male and female are just so mentally unstable that they don't have the wherewithal to know how to approach or behave when it comes to law enforcement. And so the law enforcement is then justified on them being apprehensive and taking brute force, lethal force, any force they choose, because we're just so mentally unstable that it's our fault we don't know how to act. This came from your president. All you people out there who love that goddamn Barack Obama, this came from his mouth. You can look that shit up. That's the only comment he ever made about the police brutality going on in this very fucking country. You want to know why so many of us have fucking mental issues? It goes beyond not wanting to seek help from white people. Who the fuck am I? as a black man that you have created institutions to destroy. Who in the fuck am I to go sit down and talk to some Caucasian English motherfucker about my problems when the majority of those problems, the majority of my depression, the majority of my mental illness stems from the institutionalization of the mindset from being born into slavery. Make no mistake. But I'm going to go talk to the very same persons, the very same people, the very same bloodlines who created the majority of the institutions to not only enslave us, but keep us enslaved. It just doesn't make any sense. Do you understand? Do you understand how a person can go insane when you're telling him his whole life or her whole life that the reason things aren't working out for her, the reason that she's in the state that she's in is simply her fault? When in truth, there are not only foundations laid, but there are entire institutions. There are entire laws put in place to keep, not only place us, but keep us in bondage. Again, those of you who wish to believe into the matrix, that this American society is the only reality for you, I bid you adieu. More power to you. You stay over here and wait until the end of days when Babylon is destroyed. As for me, once again, I want to seek mental stability. I want to seek emotional stability. And I'm sick and tired of talking to coons and Europeans who are so happy with the status quo that they will sit there and tell you that slavery didn't exist, let alone sit there and tell you to forget about it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to preach this on the mountaintops, but I got to get out of here anyway. I have to. It's the only way. It's the only way for the mind to completely heal itself from this mental bondage that we are in every single day. It's the only way. Once again, I urge you to do the same. But I just had to get this off my chest, man. Listen to it, not listen to it. I don't give a fuck. You are the masters of your own destiny. Peace.